attached to this. I find it a little bit far-fetched because the last time the Congress party and its workers came out on the ground when Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi were being questioned and created absolute mayhem on the streets of the national capital and otherwise, you were on the back foot because the voices from the country was that we don't need to be subjected to this. But Mr. Sapra, this time around, the issue is the Herald House ceiling. You are making it about your protest. I don't think there is a link. And I don't think that you can justify protest on Herald House by talking about unemployment.
Shivani, if I can get my turn to speak now. Mr. Sapra, can I just finish my flow of thought and then you can speak again? See, the fact is that this is not politics.
Just let him complete what I was asking him. Yes, Mr. Sapra, then Charu Pragya.
See, Shivani, let me tell you very clearly that Rahul Gandhi has never avoided a single question. There were 200 questions. He answered all the questions. Even Sonia ji, she went for 3 days and she answered all the questions.
So what's the big deal?
No, and what did you do meanwhile? If Sonia ji is okay with answering questions, why are you burning the country down? Why are you attempting to make sure there is a law and order situation in our country? Your senior leaders come on camera and they say, if you question Sonia Gandhi further, we will make sure there is a law and order issue in the country. That is the statement of Congress senior leaders, Shivani, and that's the truth. See, this is not about politics for them. This is simply about protecting one single family.
Okay, let's go one by one. Let's go one by one. Let's go one by one. I want both of you to be heard equally. But Mr. Sapra, allow Charu Pragya to also come in. I will come back to you. Yes, Charu.
So I'm going to repeat what I said. First of all, if Sonia ji was answering some questions of the ED, why did Congress resort to arson? Why is it that Congress leaders come on camera and tell the nation that they will make sure a law and order situation is created only because Sonia ji is being questioned? Point number 2, I want to ask you.
Okay, just 1 second. Rahul Gandhi is speaking. Let's just listen in.
That nothing in India should be made by small and medium businesses. They want that everything should be made by 2 or 3 of their favorite big business people. That is why they changed these rules. Okay. Their entire idea is to take the money out of these people's pocket, right, and put it into rich businessmen. Thank you very much.
Symbol of Mahatma Gandhi, sir. What about your thing, sir?
Huh?
What about you think, sir? Symbol of Mahatma Gandhi, sir.
Charkha, the wheel is the symbol of Mahatma Gandhi. It's also the symbol of Emperor Ashoka. It's a historical symbol.
Sir, do you think that the central government has made a mistake by allowing...
This is not a mistake. The point is that they want to take away what is theirs and give it to 2 or 3 of the biggest industrialists. Right? So in India, if you look at, for example, Notbandi, demonetization, you look at GST, you look at farm laws, every action of theirs is about taking away things from poor people, weaker people, and handing it to the biggest, richest people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's a little strange that actually Congress leaders are not directly mentioning the Herald House ceiling. Neither did Abhishek Manu Singhvi, although he did respond to a question that was asked. Exactly what I have mentioned, that the ED said there was nobody to conduct those searches from the Young India side and therefore they had to seal it. But they're not quite mentioning this. They're linking this to other issues and of course the larger issue of the opposition being silenced. We've heard from Rahul Gandhi, so I'll allow Charu Pragya to respond to what he has said.
I think it is very ironic that Mr. Gandhi says ED is taking from the poor people. Mr. Gandhi, since when have you become poor people or National Herald become poor? I don't understand. So I think this is a classic case of Mr. Gandhi being disconnected from reality.
He spoke about the government, says Mr. Sapra.
Or even if he spoke about the government, at a point like this, I think he needs to remember that this government is doing more than has ever been done for the people of this country, the poor people of his country. It was his party which came up with the motto of Garibi Hatao, and all they did was make sure that they get richer and richer, which is why the National Herald case is alive today.
Mr. Sapra.
Yeah, that's why 80 crore people out of 130 crore, they are taking their food grains from the PDS system for free. That's why the country is progressing. That's what Charu Pragya wants to say.
No, one minute.
You can't. Let me finish. The issue is, you were talking about arson. Arson is, you know what? The Gujarat riots, the Delhi riots. That is called arson. This was not arson. This was the democratic right of every congressman and every citizen of India. that they can protest, they can raise their voice. This is the legitimate right given by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar under the Constitution. You want to suppress our voice in Parliament also, and you want to suppress our voice on the streets also.
Okay, Mr. Sapra, let me come in now. One second. Let me come in now. Mr. Sapra, one of the allegations the Congress party continues to face is that you are projecting as if the Gandhis are above the law. Everything that is happening is something that the agencies have done against several other people in the country and political leaders, including stealing of properties linked in an investigation. No heavens have fallen.
And I have a figure for Mr. Sapra.
Let him respond.
Can I? The law is equal. The law is equal for everybody. We believe in that. But the fact of the case of National Herald is that this case is going on since 10 years. And since 10 years,
so are so many other cases, sir. That's not a defense.
Please let me conclude. Let me conclude. In 2015, this case was stopped, and then again it was reopened by the favorite officers of Narendra Modi in 2016. That's how this case is going on. There is no FIR in 10 years. So what is the ED pursuing?
Why don't you listen to the hearing that went on in the Supreme Court?
No,
the Supreme Court has made very specific observations about PMLA, the way the Act is used, the way ED functions. So ED is entirely in its right to carry on with these investigations. Now kindly don't speak over me because I have a figure to give you, Shivani. When everybody, especially Mr. Sapra, talks about ED, Mr. Sapra, number sun lo. So in ED raids in the last 8 years, you know how much money has been recovered from the homes of opposition leaders? 1,04,845 crore. Zero लगा के बताइए Mr. Sapra. ये आप जैसे नेताओं के घरों में से निकला हुआ पैसा है. This is money which belongs to this nation. This is India's money, which is being hoarded by opposition leaders. So when you question ED raids, you actually cannot question it when money is being recovered. The proof is in the pudding.
Mr. Sapra.
Money is not being recovered from any Congress leader. You can't relate the case of Partha and Congress together. This is number one.
I spoke of 8 years. I spoke of 8 years.
You spoke about 8 years. That's what I'm coming to now. You said about
and I'll also tell you about the democracy that you're mentioning.
Okay, let him complete.
Let me complete. Why ED is not raiding those industrialists जिनका आपने 13 लाख करोड़ रुपया माफ किया है? The Adanis, the Ambanis, the Nirav Modis, the Mehul Choksis, 13 lakh crore you have written off those money. Why you're not raiding them? Why you're not? What happened about Piyush Jain, the person who was raided in Kanpur, and ED recovered 275 crore rupees cash from him? He has been left on bail. Which BJP leader helped him to get a bail? You please ask your senior leaders.
Okay, first of all, Rahul Gandhi ji is also on bail. So bail is also an administrative judicial procedure. More importantly, I want to talk about the free speech and democracy you mentioned. Right? In your brand of democracy, can I just
let's give both of you equal space.
You had your say. So now, in your brand of democracy, a senior Congress leader says if you touch Sonia ji, there'll be a law and order situation. That's your freedom of speech. In your freedom of speech, one of your Congress MLAs from Karnataka says we have earned enough money to last us for 2, 3, 4 generations of our families. Let's be on the street today to support Sonia ji. Now this is your freedom of speech and this is your kind of democracy. Tell me, which of these two statements you agree with? Are you okay with creating a law and order situation in our country because you think one citizen is above the law, or are you supporting the statement of your MLA who says he's earned enough money to last him for 4 generations?
You need to remember the cash recovered from Bangaru Lakshman. You need to remember.
Can you answer the questions I'm asking you, Mr. Sapra?
Please.
No, but see, every case is independent. If you're going to interlink them, then I will have 20 things to talk about. I am specifically talking about the National Herald case and everything that has transpired about this case. Only this case.